You're listening to the Chopped Podcast, episode number 134. Hey everyone, just a quick note before we get started on today's episode. I just wanted to tell you that we just wrapped up the Chopped Academy webinar on, the one that we had on SEO with Casey Marquis. It was so great. We've already received such positive feedback. People who joined us are saying their minds were blown and they really were glad that they participated because they received such great information. I can't tell you how happy this makes me. It's one of my big goals to find ways to support you in the important work that you're doing every day. So I just wanted to say, be sure to sign up for the Chopped newsletter so you'll be the first to know about our future webinars. Go to chopped.academy and then scroll down to the bottom of the page, and that's where you'll find our email form. Be sure to go and sign up today. Okay, without further ado, on to the show. Hey everyone, welcome to the next episode of the Chopped Podcast. It's Friday, so that means today is a FriChats.
Is that the right answer?
Hi, Cara.
What's up, Marly?
I just realized I think last week I forgot to say, hi, I'm Marly of the blog Namely Marly, and you are?
My name is Cara, and I'm from the site Fork and Beans.
Yes, and that is us. That is who we are.
I had to remind myself. Yeah, it's good. Good.
You had to remind yourself?
Yeah, I kind of struggle through that one. I don't know who I am. Help me.
That's called mom brain.
Oh, is that what that is?
I don't know. It could be like...
I had it way before a kid, so but I like having somebody to blame for it.
It is a very nice thing. From now on, you can always blame mom brain on a lot of things, and that's nice.
All right, done. Maybe my site will be called Mom Brain. Ooh, that's a good idea. Don't anybody take that.
Let's go buy the domain name now.
Yeah,
mombrain.com
right now.
What a great idea. Why hasn't somebody done that already?
They probably have.
Yeah, we'll get out there. It's already taken.
Yeah.
So how is Jax?
Oh, he's awesome. He's the cutest kid in the world. Says every mother on the planet, but
I know.
But I'm serious. He is. No.
I've seen him on Instagram. He is adorable.
Really cute. He's super fun, and I love this kid so much. He's changed my life for the better.
I know. I had so many people who would say to me when I was pregnant, like, your life is going to change forever, and I was like, what? I'm who I am, and then they were absolutely right.
And you know it's going to. You just don't realize in what way. And it's just like the best possible way ever. But that also is not for everybody, but I think for the majority, it's also contingent upon how you approach it, right? That's everything in life.
Yes,
if you're
true.
telling yourself that you're miserable and you're so tired and, oh my gosh, this is so hard, then it's going to be miserable, terrible, and really exhausting. Right. But, it's all how you approach it.
Yeah, I actually, it's funny that you say that because I can find myself in my day-to-day life feeling that. And I think I've mentioned to you before that I have started to, it sounds so crazy to say this, but I have really been focusing on reconnecting with older versions of myself or younger versions of myself, I should say. And there's this like 18-year-old version of me that I love to connect with when I'm feeling like that, when I'm feeling negative about my life, because my 18-year-old would look at my life and go, what? You've got it going on. Like,
funny. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I was so enthusiastic and inspired about everything as an 18-year-old. So I like to tap into her.
I love that. I love that. I will say, yeah, I was probably there too.
Yes.
I appreciate that a lot. I'm going to try that.
I went by a nickname at that age. A lot of people would call me Maddie, and I don't even know why. I just feel like, don't you think when you're in your teens, everybody wants to have some cutesy nickname? I don't know why. Everybody called me Maddie. So I actually refer to her as Maddie, and I kind of tap into her, and she's just very enthusiastic about everything. And she,
I love that.
I need that in my life sometimes. It's really
all
wonderful.
right. I'm going to tap into Carabiner. That was
What
my
was that?
nickname. Carabiner. Yeah.
Carabiner.
I worked for a guy who loved rock climbing, and he carried a carabiner with his keys on it. And so it just kind of, I don't know. He kind of looked at the carabiner one day and he's like, "That's your nickname." And it
Oh.
stuck for a long time.
Did
So
you
I'm
rock climb too?
hell no. Are you crazy? No. Have you seen me?
Did you stand at the bottom of the rock and see if you fell, or what did you do?
I probably did it one time in like Joshua Tree, and it was miserable. I had this. That's not who I am.
You're not an outdoorsy.
Nope, 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 nope. Let's be real. I love being outdoors. I
Yeah.
love Mother Nature. I just don't want to climb on Mother Nature. No, thank you. Or anything that could like cause me to plummet to my death.
But I kind of have this theory, though, that the people that you date, it says something about you, don't you think?
The people you date?
Yes. Or like maybe there was a part of you that wanted to do that. No?
Oh, I didn't date anybody outdoorsy either.
You said he was a rock climber.
Oh, no, this was somebody I worked for. No, I didn't date him.
Oh.
No, no.
Got you. I thought you said dated. Missed it.
No, we would not have been a good fit at all.
I got you. So somebody you worked for gave you
Yes.
this nickname.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah. Yes.
I love it. Carabiner. That's a great name.
Yeah.
Yes. So tap on her. Let her bring gratitude into your life. It works for me. It really, when I find myself just like dull and frustrated, and I have those days. I have, for sure, long periods where I go through that.
Yeah.
And boy, Maddie just brings me right out. Just like, what? You live in this house? You can go for a walk in the middle of the day. Oh yeah, like it's great.
That's so cute. And I'm sure Maddie would be just like, her mind would be blown at the fact that there's something called the internet and
Yes.
and you get to post food on it. What?
Yes. Yes, because I loved recipes so much when I was in that time frame of my life. Like I would actually just
Did you?
hand write them out. I love to just write them.
That's so awesome. So you're really honoring a part of yourself with your blog, which
Yes.
is amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I'm excited. If you listened last week, everybody, Marly was talking about how she's going to broaden her horizons in terms of her site and open up more different aspects of who she is, incorporating more creativity, writing, her podcast. So I'm how's that going?
It's going good. I mean, for me, the only way I'm able to do that is I feel like I have to have confidence in my path. And so for me, that means I have to do this daily meditation because, I have to just be so connected with myself. I heard somebody say this and I just love this, that living can be like being in a smoke-filled room. Like, when you're in a smoke-filled room, you just feel just gross, like you stink and you smell it. And so you have to go take a shower.
Yes.
That's meditation. And so like walking around, you can pick up negativity. You can pick up the stress of everyday life is kind of like the smoke that gets on you. And meditation is a way of like just clearing all that out. And that's kind of what I've been trying to do lately, is to really clear, focus on meditation so that I know that I'm on the right path. I'm honoring myself.
So, how do you do that then? Like, what happens when you have a difficult day? How do you find that confidence again in yourself and kind of revert yourself back on track?
Okay, so I heard this really cool thing, Cara, and I just love this. Okay, this person said the word confidence is, con means with, like chili con carne means chili with meat. So con means with. Yeah. And fidanz means faith.
Okay.
So confidence is basically moving forward with faith.
Oh, interesting.
In yourself. Isn't that
I
nice?
love that. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yes. So I feel like sometimes confidence feels to me like a fake word. Like it's almost like a fake it till you make it kind of word. Like, this is the attitude you need. You just need to be confident whether you are or not.
Or it's gross. Like cocky.
Cocky, yes.
Maybe sometimes it's related to that.
Arrogant.
Yeah, arrogant is a great word. Yes.
But if you think about it, like confidence is moving forward with faith in yourself. Wow, that just feels powerful to me.
It kind of reminds me of the TV show, American Idol, when people would try on the tryouts phase. it always surprised me that like the people who had some of like the worst voices
Yes.
would like have so much confidence in themselves. I mean, literally just like the way they would hold themselves and they're like, I'm going to
Yes.
rock this. And you're ready for like the most beautiful voice ever. And then they open their mouth and it's like, oh, dear God, somebody lied to you.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I always look at them and go, I kind of am jealous because
Yeah.
you really do believe in yourself. And that's something, I don't know, maybe I'm getting that twisted, but that's something to be valued of. Because usually the ones who have the most beautiful voices have the least amount of confidence. It's just bizarre to me. What's that about, Marley?
That is so interesting, but it does kind of remind me of the church that my mom and I used to go to. There were these two sisters that would get up and sing, and they really did not have good voices, but they were just so happy in themselves to be singing that you had to admire it.
Right. That's what I think too, is you have no other choice but to go, good for you. Good for
Yes.
you. Give me some of that. That's not fair.
I know. I think almost like the people who have, like you just said, people with the talent seem to have the least confidence in themselves. I just think maybe sometimes we've held ourselves to societal measures. Like, we know there are certain ways we need to sing, or, I don't sing like that.
Yeah.
Or and
I don't
think,
look like that when I sing.
Oh, yes.
Whatever it
Yes.
might be.
Appearances can be a big part of that. I feel like it's easy to hold yourself back because you think, I'm not skinny or I'm not that. And I just think that's a bad place to be in.
So it seems like everything always comes back to the comparison trap.
I
too.
know.
It's the main confidence killer, really.
That's so true. I don't know. Have you ever read this book? Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to think of the name of it. It's the Confidence Code. I think it's called the Confidence Code.
Never heard of it. Yeah.
It's by two women, and I can only think of one of them's name, and her name was Katty Kay. I think she is a political commentator on CNN or something like that.
Okay.
And they basically studied the differences in confidence between men and women.
Okay.
And it was so interesting that, some of the most successful women would feel like, they would talk about jobs, for example. A man that was less qualified would feel extremely confident going for a job that he was not qualified in. Whereas
Yes.
a woman who was overqualified
Yeah.
would feel like she needed to go get some certification before she could move forward, applying for that job.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally relate to that. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
What's
it's
that about? Oh my gosh.
It's so true. And they talked a lot about what they called NATs, were negative automatic thinking.
Yeah.
And that the important thing would be to break that up if we could, and to, just to think more confident words about ourselves.
Well, like just going back to the idea, what we were talking about, confidence, how sometimes it's correlated in my mind as cocky or arrogant. I think that's a problem too, because you don't want to come across as like this arrogant person. So you kind of hold yourself back, as if being a confident person is a bad thing. Maybe that's a woman thing. I don't know. I don't know if we were just like, were we taught that not to be too forthright with
Absolutely.
our, how amazing we think we are, or
Yep.
And I'm sure it's more, I'm sure that it's more than just gender. I'm sure it's also upbringing and your own personal household that you were raised in. But it seems like I succumb to the idea that like I would never want someone to think that I'm full of myself, or that I like who I am. That sounds weird to say out loud. So I'd rather be self-deprecating than anything, which is so sad to me. Oh my God.
I know. Exactly. Some of that is definitely the way that we're raised. Like, little boys are encouraged to try new things and to be brave and experiment and be risky even. And little girls are not encouraged to be that way.
Yes.
We are encouraged to demur to others, or is that the right word? Demur? How do you say that? Demur.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Little girls are, told to to not be competitive and not, I'm not saying all of the little girls, but overall, that's the trend around the world too, not just in the United States.
Well, you know what? And it makes me think of that one quote where they talk, I can't remember who says it, but she says, like our deepest fear isn't that we're inadequate. It's that we're more powerful than like beyond measure or something like that.
I think that's Marianne Williamson.
Yes, that sounds familiar. Mary. Yeah. But the fact that like you have to let your light shine.
Yes.
Without giving people permission to do the same. I love that. I love that because sometimes I don't know. I'm just even thinking of like a social setting. If somebody says something dumb or like not funny, I find myself just kind of giggling, so they don't feel embarrassed by it.
Yes.
But it's like, why is that my responsibility to take care of somebody else like that?
Right.
So like, why is it my responsibility to make sure somebody feels secure in their own selves if I feel secure in my own self and they're not feeling it,
Yes. They even mentioned in this book that I believe it was that the women have a tendency to nod more in conversation than men. And
it drives me nuts. Like, I'm sorry.
I do it all the time. I catch myself and I look around the room and nobody else is nodding. It's like, just stop the nodding.
Like, I think about like being with my husband and his family, and he can like just like check out and he'll just be on his phone. But like, I have this tendency of like, no, I can't do that. I mean, that's also a little different. Like, come on, you gotta, you gotta be present. But
yes,
but I find that like I'm still in the conversation and trying to like make it go and keep it going. It's like, why am I doing this? This isn't, I don't know. But no, yes. I totally relate to that women are the ones who are, for the most part, trying to get that conversation going.
Have you heard of power poses?
I have not.
Yeah. Okay. So Sean and I like to watch, every now and then we'll watch TED Talks, and there's somebody, and I'll have to leave a link to this in the show notes page, but she talks about power poses. Like, it's like the Superman or the Wonder Woman pose. Imagine the Wonder Woman pose, hands on the hips, legs kind of shoulder width apart.
Yes.
And those actually can increase the amount of confidence that you have in yourself.
Ooh. So if you catch me out in public doing the Wonder Woman pose, you know why I'm doing it. I'm trying to gain some more confidence in myself.
Yes.
No.
She actually suggests taking on those poses, like if you're getting ready to go into a meeting, if before you walk into the room, you take on those poses, it actually increases your confidence as you move forward.
Well, I think like posture is very important, right? I mean, it's kind of what they say, to stand up straight and put your chest out and your shoulders back, because it kind of invites that too. I mean, at the same time, like, I don't want to say those are superficial ways to invoke confidence. There are ways to get your body maybe in line with it, right?
Yes.
What do you do in order to get with faith in yourself?
Well, it's funny that you asked me that question, because I was actually thinking about what I do during a tennis match, because I have a tendency to get really nervous. So like Sean and I will go out and hit, and then I can hit the ball really hard and I feel really good and confident. And then I get in a match and I get just afraid. Like I could just feel my heartbeat through it's like, it doesn't even matter. I keep telling myself there's no money on the line, but I guess it's just this big part of me that is competitive and wants to win really badly.
Yeah.
And so I just remind myself that I'm having fun. And for some reason that helps me relax. And then I can play the way more like I want to play.
That reminds me of, so my husband saw this sign that I ended up buying for him, and we have it in our living room.
Yes.
It says, "Don't take life too seriously. No one gets out alive anyway." which pairs beautifully with what you're saying, because
Yeah.
the less we like think that life or death hinges upon certain things, the more we can let go and realize, you know what? When I'm like on my deathbed, am I going to look back and say, I really wish I worked harder, or I really wish I did that recipe different?
Yes.
No, we're going to say, I kind of wish I didn't take myself too damn seriously, right?
Yes. And you know what's really interesting is as I'm in a match. Okay, so previously when I'd be in a match, I'm not saying okay, I'm a pretty nice person, but I felt like I was kind of being a little bit of a jerk sometimes. I just didn't really want to talk with the opponent very much. And a match usually lasts about an hour, and there's changeovers, and I would get frustrated very easily. And I just think that was, I wasn't a fun person to be around. And now I chit chat with a person, and Sean and I were talking about this, and his point was like that you come across as confident when you're able to chit chat when you're in the middle of a competitive match.
Interesting.
And
yeah.
I realize there's some truth to that. So I think maybe, I don't know how we translate this to blogging, but I feel like if you're not having fun with it, you should just try to find places where you can have fun with the work that you're doing and be relaxed about it. Don't you think that imbues a sense of confidence in what you're doing?
Yes, I do, because like I'm thinking of my own example of when I lost my confidence not so long ago that I spoke about a couple of weeks ago. And the picture I get, the imagery I get in my head of where I was at was like me trying to grab sand and hold it in my hands. And it's just slipping out, and me getting so frustrated about it because I mean, we talk about this constantly. I was viewing it the wrong way, and I was holding the wrong things as important, like numbers. And of course, it's going to feel like everything's slipping away when I'm focused on the wrong thing. I wasn't having fun. I wasn't enjoying myself, and yeah.
Could you imagine this, like have a vision for yourself where you're doing what you love and getting paid for it and having fun too?
That's the part that I think I've always missed out on. I was always like, you have to, do what you love, but you need to get paid for it.
Yes.
And I think one of the things I'm working out in my own brain is that I don't have to be the best. And for some reason well, I know why, but I've developed this thing in my life where I have to be the best, because if I'm the best at what I do, then I'm safe and I'm secure there. And nobody will leave, right? I mean, it just kind of goes into like friendships, be the friend for everybody. And I'm realizing, especially in this like past year and a half, that that served me for a very long time in life. It no longer serves me. So I need to start doing things differently, because the tools that got me here are no longer going to work for me anymore, to where I want to go.
Wow.
And so my confidence is based off of something different, but I keep going back to the old stuff. And that's why I get frustrated, is because it's like, no, wait a minute. Not how it's supposed to work now. It's not how it's going to work. But I keep doing certain things over and over again, which is fine, because I'm learning and I'm trying.
Yes.
And this is something new, and so
don't you think that focus on being the best? It's so funny to hear you talk about that, because I can totally see that in myself. I could see that in blogging. I can see it also on the tennis courts. I think that's one of the reasons everywhere. I was so frustrated, is because I want to be the best. I want to be really good at what I'm doing. And I want people to go like, oh man, she is so good. But that is a focus on what other people think of me. And that's where the frustration comes in.
I think that's exactly it. It's caring more about what other people perceive you as than who you perceive yourself with, right?
Yes.
It's just okay. So this is a great example. The other day on Memorial Day, I had posted a picture of my son, and I just said, somebody wants to wish you a happy Memorial Day, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And somebody responds to me saying how I shouldn't be saying happy Memorial Day. I don't tell people to have fun at the funeral, right? And like, if this was me 3 years ago, or let's just be real, if this was me like almost a year ago, I would have been so like hurt by that and fixated on it. I probably would have changed the title or the description on the picture for it to not say happy anymore, or, and instead I just realized I'm really trying hard every day when I come into contact with stuff like this to say, but this is how I believe, and this is what I feel. So I don't really care what you say, because you're coming at it with your own experiences, and that is fine and good. But I have my own too, and they're just as valid as yours. Right. And if you're trying to teach me a lesson, you're doing a really terrible job at it. Like, if you really cared, maybe send me a private message and saying, hey, I just wanted to say this, but you're trying to like, I don't know. There's something that I didn't like about it.
It feels shaming.
It felt very shaming, and that's fine. You do your thing, but you know what? I don't have to change who I am to make you happy. And it must be really exhausting to correct everybody in the way they're supposed to say the right thing according to you. You know, there was something very liberating for me to respond back and say, I don't agree. I'm sorry, I don't agree. And I don't have to delete your comment. I don't have to delete anything. I don't have to fight you on it. I can just say, I'm free to do and say whatever I want to right now. Yes. And I think the more that I keep doing that, the more confidence I build in my own self, because I'm acknowledging that, like, I have my own voice. Yes. And my own voice deserves to be honored. And it's not going to resonate with everybody, and that is okay. And that's part of being, my son agrees, that's part of being the best. Yes. You lie to yourself when you say, if I'm the best, then everybody will love me, because that's saying that everyone will agree with who you are. And that's impossible. That's absolutely impossible.
Well, and it's such an outside in. In other words, I'm the best when everybody agrees that I'm the best. But what if you have, if we're saying confidence is with faith is an internal thing. It's not this, it's something how you feel about yourself inside. And I feel like that's the better measure of confidence, is just, to feel, do I feel good about what I'm, like you said last week, am I putting out content that I feel proud of? Yeah. That's confidence.
Even if it doesn't get repinned.
Yes.
Thousands of times. So funny. So funny that I'm saying this. Like, I'm going back to some of my old content and like putting long pins in it. I know. Everybody's
rolling their eyes like, oh,
I know,
what?
But I told you I could change my mind, and I did. Yes. But I think why I enjoy long pins now is because I found a format that I'm proud of. Yes. Before I hated it because it didn't look right. And it just felt like I was trying to look like everybody else. I finally figured out my voice, and this is probably what I'm going to feel about videos. And it's probably what I'm going to feel about Snapchat in like 2 years. Let's be real, because that's just how I am. And I'm open about it now. I'm not going to hide. Yes. But I started like going back and putting long pins according to the new format that I absolutely love. And I fell in love with my content yesterday because it's like, oh, this looks really good. Wait, why do I doubt myself again?
Well, what I love about that too, Cara, is I feel like sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves to create new content. Yes. And what about honoring the content you've already got and refreshing it with, by the way, your long pins are beautiful. I love them.
I'm going to have confidence to say thank you. I agree.
Yes. I can tell you agree, because I can just see your stamp on your long pins. They're gorgeous.
And that's, okay, so what we talked about last week is that the fact that blogging, there are no rules. Yes. And so one of the rules though on Pinterest is, long pins get you more repins, right? Yes. So I think the goal is, you can follow those rules, but make sure you're being true to yourself in the midst of them. And sometimes some of that requires you to go a different way. Yes. And sometimes it just requires you to tweak it a little bit so you are coming out in it. So I think my beef with long pins is they didn't feel right and natural to me. And now they do, because I figured out how to put my voice and my stamp, like you said, out there that I can be proud of. Same thing with videos. Again, same thing with Snapchat. I'm sure that will change, but like the frustration and I'm not going to do that. Really, for me, it comes from I'm frustrated and I don't know how to make this work for me. And as long as I'm honest about that, then I think that's okay. I think it's okay to be angry at like the fact that videos are so hot right now and I just can't wrap my brain around them at all.
You can't fall in love with them yet.
No, because just like long pins, they stifled my creativity. They really do. I feel like I don't want to follow just this one format, but I'm sure eventually I'm going to figure out how I can put myself into it, and then I'm going to love it. And then something new is going to come along and I'm going to hate it again. That's just how I am. Okay. Leave me alone, everybody. So what?
Yes. I love it. But, there's some confidence in just making that statement.
Thank you. Just be honest with yourself, right?
Yes.
Being honest with who you are. I don't have time to do Twitter. I don't have time to do whatever. I don't want to do this. Gives you the permission then to focus and be proud of the things that you can do. Yes. I don't know. There's something about acting as if you have to do everything and do everything perfectly. That exhausts me.
Well, I think it kind of goes back to, we've got a few common themes that go on here. And one of them is, I think you have to know yourself. So confidence, if we're all in agreement that means moving forward with faith in yourself, you have to know yourself. And so that's a great knowing point. That video is just not your, jam. I feel the same way. I mean, Sean and I have been doing video, and there are times I love it, but I'm cranky when we're doing it. I'm not, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm just doing it because that's what everybody says you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
And that's not the right reason to be doing it. And I also feel like it fills up my time, not just video, but all of this stuff.
Yes.
Fills up my time so that I feel like I don't have any time to do the creative projects that I want to do.
Which those creative projects are part of your confidence boosters. So by not giving yourself time to do that, you're now focusing on just the things that frustrate you. Right. And that's gonna be a bad.
It's a negative loop that you're in at that point.
Yes.
So no wonder you end up hating everything, because you're constantly doing these things that you don't like and not having time to do the things that would fill you up.
So confidence boosting requires you to do the things that you love. And that make you feel good about your talents, that you can go, I'm actually really good at this. Like if I tried to, do the activities that I'm bad at, like snowboarding or rock climbing or whatever, being athletic. Look, hey, I can throw a baseball. All right, people, I'm not not athletic, but if I just did that stuff all the time, I'd be miserable.
Yes. And you know that about yourself, and you're comfortable with yourself about that.
Yeah, I need Dr. Phil. I'm not going to hide anymore. I love to watch Dr. Phil. So what? So sue me. But that builds my confidence.
I think we covered this. I think we've given people a lot of food for thought on how they can create more confidence in their lives and to fill their lives up with it, and to also have their blogs reflect that too.
Go with faith, my friends.
Yes, go forward. Did you say go forward with faith?
Yes, go with faith.
Feel it,
girl. All right.
Cara, it's been great talking with you again.
Air high five.
Yes. Bye.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of FriChats. We love chatting about the soulful side of food blogging, so we sure hope that you love hearing it. You can sign up today for the Chopped Academy newsletter, so you'll be the first to know about future webinars and other events that we plan to help you tap into your passion and be a badass business owner. Go to chopped.academy and scroll down to the bottom of the page to sign up today. Thanks to everyone for your support of the Chopped podcast. Your reviews on iTunes and Stitcher make such a big impact. It takes only a few seconds of your time, and it means so much. We also appreciate your reviews of the podcast on social media as well. Please keep spreading the word. We really appreciate it. You inspire me, and I hope today's show was helpful and inspirational to you as well. Now go forth and be your best you.